And rhythm is about timing and spacing. And from defensive standpoint, you want to disrupt that. And that's what you saw. When you are able to get deflections, it makes guys tentative to make those little simple passes that you ordinarily make. And that's what we saw in that first half. Toronto established that. They got a lot of deflections. They were jumping in the passing lane. And now all of a sudden it makes you a little tentative offensively. And you can't get those points back. Remember, it was 20-5, I think, in the first half, points off turnovers. And that allowed the cushion that Toronto needed ultimately to hold on and get the win.
We're talking a lot about that Toronto defense here the last couple of sequences, the amount of forced turnovers and how they turn that into points on the offensive end today. Without Siakam, without Kyle Lowry, OguGuAnunoby really inserted himself to be a big-time presence. Second career 30-point game for him, but also 8 rebounds and 5 steals. All 5 of those steals coming in the first half.
You talk about the consummate two-way player, and that's what OG was in this game. Sort of a homecoming. Remember, he went to Indiana for school, and as he's continued to grow, this guy understands where he can get his offense there, knowing there's no shot blocking down low on that drive as you had Turner out guard the three-point line. And then good ball movement and the confidence with which he's shooting that three, a career high for him, over 40% this season. And he's been lights out here of late. But it's not just that. Here, the deflection, the post defense. So here's a guy that can guard all 5 positions for you and then give you efficient, consistent offense, both from the three and in the paint. So he was just terrific on all sides. And again, just the anticipation, that puts a lot of pressure on your half-court offense when you had a guy as strong as he is, because he can still hold his position and go for the steal. That's unique. Not everyone can do that. So special performance from OguGuAnunoby, and a timely one as well for the Raptors.
Yeah, they certainly need it. I'm curious your thoughts here, how he fits in big picture. Maybe he's not a 30-point scorer every night, obviously, but when Siakam comes back, is he the type of guy that they could count on, to lean on, to score? Or is it still Siakam going to be that first option?
I think he's continuing to grow, and his style of play, I think, is actually I like his ceiling a little more because he's more physical. Mm-hmm. So when he's driving, he's seeking contact and also able to get to that free throw line. Siakam's a more of a finesse kind of player, and I think they coexist beautifully because they're also multiply versatile, right? They both defend multiple positions. They can both shoot the three ball. And then when you factor in Van Vliet and Lowry, the other advantage they have as a group, and we talked about this before the game, I said, this Toronto team is going to be really good when they get healthy because of the growth of those young guys. Then you got Norman Powell and Boucher coming off your bench. They're going to be really good. This could be an interesting year for this team, and now they're starting to build some momentum. Nobody's talking about the Raptors, and a game like this only gives them confidence moving forward.
Yeah, we look at the terrible start that they got off to this year, 2-6, and you got to remember what they went through to start the season, uprooting their families, living out of hotels, finding apartments, playing every game on the road, trying to figure out the whole situation. Wasn't easy for the Raptors to start this season, and now they're just getting settled in. It's the first of a busy day around the association. Got a game that's going to tip off in about 40 minutes from now. It is in L.A. with the Clippers and the Thunder as we take a look at our big board tonight. 1 in the books and several more to go. Plus, we've got the Hawks and the Bucks on NBA TV tonight. We'll have a pregame show coming your way at 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific, 6:30 Central, I should say. Paul George and company have won 6 in a row. Their most recent win came against the Thunder. Same squad they'll face tonight as they finish up their mini-series with OKC. We'll get you set for this matchup when we return here. Oh, we're staying. Okay. We're not going anywhere. I was excited to go to commercial. I wanted to pay some bills. But this Clipper team, they're starting to find a rhythm. Speaking of what the Raptors are doing here. Remember, it was a few weeks ago, GA, we sat up here and we watched the Clippers on a Sunday afternoon get beat by 51.
50!
By the Dallas Mavericks. And we wondered, what's going on with this team? That sense of urgency has kicked it into high gear of late. And Paul George is, again, early, but thrust himself into the conversation for MVP of this season.
He has, and what I'd also like, because, listen, we all nitpick and criticize, and deservedly so, the Clippers for that performance. But give them credit because they dealt with it and they responded in kind. And you made the point about him possibly being an MVP candidate. Listen, he's been their best player, and that's saying a lot because Kawhi Leonard hasn't been bad. But those two guys together to start the season have just been lights out. They played so well. And, this is a different looking team, right? Lou Williams not having the impact that he had a year ago. It's really been about those two guys in terms of how well they played. And then Paul George, the way he shot the three ball. I mean, and the defense. Everything is kind of clicking well for them right now. And they're also flying under the radar, right? Not a lot of conversation about them, not a lot of talk. They're just able to go out and kind of play basketball. And I tell you what, man, they are building momentum. I'm anxious to start to see them, though, match up against some of the other higher profile teams and just get a sense of what that's going to look like as we get a little deeper into the season.
Yeah, we showed that graphic there. Kawhi and Paul George are the fifth highest scoring duo in the NBA right now. And of those guys, they're probably the best two-way players in the league, right, in terms of what they bring to the table.
They're up there. There's no doubt about it. And also both guys, good passers, and I think leadership is growing from both of them. And I think last year kind of shook the system a little bit, a shock to it, I should say. And it's good to see how they responded. Ty Lue's got them playing well. Still some questions. I think Luke Kennard's starting to find a rhythm. Yep. I think he's going to be really important for them, big picture. But, until they get in those moments, you don't know how they're going to respond. We won't know that till the postseason, but I like what we're seeing. I'll tell you another good pickup, Nicholas Batum.
Yep.
Again, he's a guy that fits them because he's a solid passer, can make an open shot, he can defend multiple positions. And you just need guys like that know how to play, especially when you have two stars of the caliber of George and Leonard.
Well, you can relate to Nick Batum because he went through something that you went through a couple of decades ago, and that is the birth of a child in the season. And Batum had that case on Friday and then decided to play, and he goes out and scores 14 points, earning the respect and admiration from his teammates.
He wants to play, so we're just trying to get it cleared with the NBA.
Nicholas Batum is in the lineup, and I mean this in the literal sense. 3 hours ago, had a baby girl.
We would have respected him either way.
It shows that he's committed. It just shows how much he loves the basketball game. I'm happy for him. His wife, his new daughter, they're both healthy. It's a blessing.
It means a lot to the team, and just happy for him. Today was a big day for him.
Really cool. As his teammate said, he didn't have to play. They would have understood him not playing, and he gets set to come in as the Clippers look for a seventh straight win. That's a lot to go, through and say, and obviously